Are we ever going to start?
We're going to start.
Let's start.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, no. What is it? Is it something about Leonardo DiCaprio?
It's not this time. It's been brought to my attention that you don't pay attention to me.
What?
I go and listen to...
What?
What are we talking about today? Are we starting with a cold open? Are we doing something? Was that it?
That was it.
Oh. Cue the music.
I think we should cue the music.
I would like to start with a new segment this week.
Oh, what segment?
Oh, no. I think we should start by saying that I'm Rebecca.
Oh, hi, Roy.
Oh, I'm Roy.
No, you're only Roy when I call you Roy.
That's true. I identify as Rebecca.
Hi.
And you are?
I'm Paige.
And this is?
Made from what's left.
Apparently, we have a habit of saying that we are made from what's left.
Is it wrong?
Not entirely, no. Made from spare parts.
We are.
Okay, so our new segment this week
Is?
listener mail.
Ooh, we have mail?
What kind of? We have a conversation. We have email. Well, not even email. It was a chat. It was a DM. Someone slid into our DMs is what I'm trying to say.
Tell me more.
Okay, so this lovely listener in Victoria, BC.
How do we know they're a listener?
Well, because she knew a lot about the podcast.
Okay. All right,
It was obvious that she had listened.
Okay.
To the podcast.
So we've confirmed we have the one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So she reached out to tell us that her grandfather had worked at a downtown Salisbury house.
Did she mention which one?
She thought that it was the bus station, like the original bus station, Salisbury House.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. Like not when it was over by the U of W. It was never by the U of M. By the U of W. But
yeah.
Original downtown bus station, cigar stand, Salisbury House.
The whole works.
Her grandfather managed it.
Mm-hmm.
Her great-grandfather owned Canadian Electric and Brass Limited on Minto.
Cool.
So when the Salisbury House was demolished, her great-grandfather went in, took out all the marble countertops, and used them to make lamps.
And she
like
has...
lamp bases. So she has a lamp, and the base is made of Salisbury House marble.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. It's a family legend. I mean,
Yeah.
the Canadian Electric and Brass thing checked out.
Yeah.
According to the 1950 phone book.
You looked it up. I love it.
I looked it up. And so, yeah, it was cool to see that the podcast had reached Victoria, BC.
Yes.
Okay, so our podcast reached the far reaches of the country, Victoria, BC. And also a little bit of a local connection there.
Which is? Lamp.
I love lamp.
We love lamp.
Paige has just joined us. Hello, this is Made from What's Left. So why am I talking about Salisbury House?
Oh, because that was our first episode.
Yes. And
we have a listener.
We have a segue.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Well, we're going to talk about John Porteous Ray.
Tell me about John Porteous Ray.
He worked at the first Salisbury House on Fort Street.
Okay.
Where he met Gerald Hemsworth.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
AKA Jerry.
Ah.
Ray and Jerry worked at the first Salisbury House on Fort Street.
Come on.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So they met at Salisbury House, working together behind the counter. They moved out to Ontario to open a restaurant, but they returned in 1939 and opened a restaurant here at Portage and Vaughan. And who was the financial backer for that restaurant?
Am I to guess?
No, it'll take too long.
Okay.
Art Chipman.
No way.
Of those Chipmans.
Of the Chipman fame.
Of the Chipman fame. So in 1947, they relocated their restaurant to Kennedy Street and renamed it Ray and Jerry's Steakhouse.
Very cool.
Very cool.
How come Ray got top billing?
I don't know. It just sounds better. Jerry and Ray. Jerry and Ray's. Ray and Jerry's. It's been like that for so long. Don't question it. Why are we Rebecca and Paige?
We aren't.
Oh, right. I need to renegotiate my contract. 1950, they relocated to 573 Portage.
Yeah,
Portage and Langside.
That checks out with my notes too.
And then 1957, they relocated to their current location just east of Polo Park.
Which is the one I think most people are familiar with nowadays.
Yes. Yeah, that is the iconic Ray and Jerry's location. 1975, Ray and Jerry sold the business to Steve Hrusalas.
Want to try that again?
Would you like to try?
I don't know the name.
We're learning to pronounce.
We're learning to pronounce. How's it spelled?
Hrousalas.
Hrusalas.
Hrusalas? Is the H silent?
It's probably silent. Hrusalas?
I don't know. Sounds Greek. Could be anything.
Let's just speculate wildly.
Oh, we're going to get another letter.
I hope it's about lamps.
So Ray and Jerry's one of my favorite places in the city because mid-century modern, Mad Men aesthetic.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it.
Have you seen photos of the building, like old-timey photos?
No, I refuse.
Because
is it the same?
It's the same building,
mm-hmm.
but arguably the changes that have been made to it have kind of hidden some of the most amazing parts of that building.
Really?
And I have pictures to show you. Then and
Are we
now.
going to share them on our social media?
Let's do it.
@MadeFromPod.
Oh, look.
I did that really smoothly this time.
You sure did. And it was timely.
We just slid that one right in there.
We didn't wait 40 minutes to talk about it.
I've heard there was a very lively, maybe whimsical mural featuring crabs.
More than that.
Okay.
Featuring, I have playful, not lively.
Okay.
So not to, dwell on semantics. Abstracted imagery of crabs, fish,
mm-hmm.
bottles,
sure,
plates,
mm-hmm.
and forks.
All of the things I think of when I think of Ray and Jerry's.
I don't think of crabs or fish.
No.
It's a steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to show you this picture. Okay, so this is what you know to be there today.
As podcasts are a visual medium, yes. If you show me a picture of my house next,
I promise I won't.
Yeah, that's the classic Ray and Jerry's, although usually there's an ambulance parked close to the front entrance.
And what the picture isn't portraying, because I printed it in black and white to give you a better apple and orange comparison, is that the darker elements in that picture are blue.
Yes.
And the lighter elements in that picture are white.
Correct.
Here's a photo that I found, an old-timey photo that I found of Ray and Jerry's.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that's not the most incredible building you've ever seen.
Oh, that's so pretty. Can we put that on our socials?
We have to.
Look at it.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at the top of the columns.
The columns?
Which they're obscured right now by that little sort of scalloped,
it's beautiful.
Canopy. Look at the fins by the door, offering some protection from wind, and look at the beautiful bricks. So my guess is, I don't have a color photo from that period, but my guess is that that's a red or buff brick.
Yeah.
And the reveals in the brick are very pronounced. Mm-hmm. So it breaks up the big planes.
The iconic sign. On the face of the building.
AAA featured prominently on the front of the canopy. Not sure why.
I cannot go to Ray and Jerry's without taking a picture of the sign.
It is a pretty important part of the build.
Of the whole experience.
Anyway, I really wanted to show you that photo, and we'll make sure that that's on the social media for the listener.
Does that look like an addition? Does that lounge area look bigger to you?
Oh, there were 2 additions.
Well, there we go. And you don't really notice, because Ray and Jerry's, you just assume that the whole thing is a flat roof, but it's not.
Nope. The pitched roof is sort of hidden in the back.
My eyes have been opened. I wonder when they stopped accepting AAA.
They maybe still do. But anyway, I mourn actually the simplicity of the original look for the restaurant. I do think that the having painted the bricks white and at the addition of the canvas.
As someone whose initials used to be RJ, I do like the logo though on the side there.
I brought something to show you, which we need to put on the socials.
Okay.
This is your buddy Stephen Juba. This is his campaign poster.
It's about time. Mixed beverage rooms, sponsored by Juba Stephen. And he was running for alderman.
He was, and he was...
And what was the campaign? What was the mixed beverage rooms? Was this to have women?
Yeah. Women in tasting rooms, or in beverage rooms. Yeah.
It is about time.
Look at her.
Stephen Juba.
Thank you. He was avant.
Again, another Salisbury House connection.
Yep. It's almost like Winnipeg's very small, or at least was at the time.
Made from what's right here. That's cool.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay, so inside Range Aries,
Yep.
you know how I like to spread rumors.
I do.
You know how it has the beautiful red carpet?
Yep.
Rumor has it that there are rolls of that carpet in the basement.
No way.
So should they ever have to replace the carpet or a portion of the carpet, they have the original carpet and the original dye lot from 1957.
Oh, that's so cool. It would be hard to imagine you could replace a section, though, and it would still be the same.
Replace the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love the red. Not leather. Naugahyde? Pleather? The
All
red
of the
seating?
above?
The red
Yeah.
upholstery? Love it.
Yeah. Those chairs feature prominently in any interior photo that you see.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Do you prefer the lounge or the dining room? Do you have a choice? Do you have a preference? Some people like one or the other.
I don't have a preference. I actually really love both spaces. I love sitting in the bar. I love sitting at the bar. I love sitting in the dining room. I like the seats around the edges the most.
I don't like that east side of the dining room. I don't like sitting on that side.
Really?
Yeah, and which is weird. That space is dividable. It has like screens that they can pull across.
Yeah.
My uncle had his wedding reception in that space.
Oh, cool. Was the rest of the restaurant open at the time, or did he have it?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember like being very small, like probably 5 feet tall. No.
You have memories from when you were 5?
Well, yeah, and I can tell you what I wore. No.
Was your hair straightened?
I remember that at the wedding, I think there was Mateus or some like horrible wine. There goes our Mateus sponsorship. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know it was wine.
It's the original rosé. Yeah, no, and I was like, we're going to like the fanciest restaurant in town.
It would have been at the time.
Yeah, and it was like his wedding reception with our little family, and
that's pretty fancy. That's kind of a cool association. The other association I have,
Girls Gone Mild.
Yes.
Or later.
I was actually gonna go Little Delicious sandwiches at every funeral you've ever been to.
Oh yeah, the funeral sandwiches. They're literally the best. Like the one with the cream cheese and the cherry.
That's a fan favorite. It's not my favorite. Is that your favorite?
You know, you can just order like 24 of them. Like just enough for one serving.
Wait, 24 sandwiches is one serving.
Well, when they're cut up like that, it's
pace yourself.
I love a funeral sandwich.
Which one's your favorite?
That's a good question. I don't like egg salad as a rule, but I like it on a funeral sandwich.
In a roll?
Yeah.
I like the egg salad. I like the little ham one.
Yeah.
Little ham sandwich.
I like the ones that like stuffed with the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We should just do that. We should just get a box of funeral sandwiches.
Why didn't we? That should have been our meal tonight. Darn. Missed opportunity.
Part 2.
Anyway, so what were you saying about Girls Gone Mild?
Girls Gone Mild. So for how many years have we made our annual trip to Range Aries for Christmas with the girls?
It didn't happen over the last 2. But before that, we have evidence of 5 years worth.
My first Girls Gone Mild was the keg.
Oh, that's right.
When I went in vegetarian and left not vegetarian.
I went in a meat eater and ordered a salad.
Can I tell the story?
Yes.
To listener. Okay, so Paige, we've got this dinner at the keg planned, and Paige is telling me that her favorite thing on the menu is like this 80-ounce steak.
It's a rib steak.
And it's not 80 ounces. 20?
It's
16?
Many ounces.
It's a large. It's like the Fred Flintstone sized piece of meat.
Several ounces, and they include the bone.
And it's just every time we talk about this thing, she's talking about how she's going to have this steak, and she's been looking forward to this steak, and she can't wait to have her steak, and she's like licking her lips and rubbing her hands together. So the day finally comes. We get to the keg. We have a glass of wine in the lounge.
I didn't have wine.
Well, that was part of the problem with why I fell off the wagon that night. So we go sit down at our table. Server comes. What can I get you? We all go around the table ordering our meat-based entrees. And Paige says, I'll just have a salad. And like not even like a dinner salad covered in meat, but just like a small side salad. Like some iceberg lettuce, maybe a piece of tomato. And so we're like, this is very strange. Why aren't you having the steak? Paige, have the steak. And she's like, I'm not really in the mood for the steak. I'm just going to have a salad. No, Paige, you've been talking about the steak. Like, I am here to see you eat this steak. She's like, no, well,
I'm fine.
I'm fine. I don't need the steak. Paige, what's going on? Are you not feeling well? Should we reschedule? She's like, well, I was here at lunch and I ate one.
What kind of an asshole?
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Steak for lunch the night they were supposed
At the same restaurant. Like not even the same same chain, same franchise. You were at the same location. You could have been seated at the same table.
I'll never tell.
This woman spent 7 hours of her day at the Gary Street keg.
I think you actually shamed me into getting a steak.
I think we did.
Yeah, I had a second steak that day because of the shit I got for ordering a salad.
And does your sister listen to this?
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't know. No. I hope so.
Because she bogarted that whole baked brie.
She sure did. I noticed she didn't touch the calamari.
Fast forward a year later, we have moved Girls Gone Mild to Ray and Jerry's. But it wasn't called Girls Gone Mild at the time. It was called Liver and Onions Anyone.
Yes.
Because we were going to go to Ray and Jerry's fairly early in the evening.
Yes.
And catch the Liver and Onions crowd.
Yeah. We were going to be the Liver and Onions
We were going to be the Liver and Onions crowd. And it's stayed there until now, with the exception of some pandemic related closures.
Absenteeism.
Yeah. But we're going to bring it back. So the other thing that's fun about the annual girls' pilgrimage to Ray and Jerry's is on that first year, a photo was taken, unbeknownst to ourselves. Someone across the table took a photo. And I think we should put it up on our Instagram.
Oh, no. Like
and then they're going to find out what we look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't look like that anymore.
So picture this. Paige very politely ordering something from our server, Judy.
Something respectable.
Yeah.
Like
just,
steak.
I think I'll have the 16-ounce steak. Even though I had one at lunch. And I have my arms crossed and I'm making a face. Like a face.
A real face.
Yeah.
Like
a stink face. And so we get the picture back and we have no idea what Paige has said to make me make this face.
I mean, I think I have some idea.
So subsequent years, we recreate the photo. We stage the photo and recreate it with the same server.
Every year but one.
And
or two. Every year but two.
Yeah, it's become a tradition. Bless Judy. Bless her.
Judy is.
I do have to say, the servers at Ray and Jerry's are some of my best servers in the city.
They're amazing.
They're amazing. They're so good at what they do.
They've embraced that job.
They're so efficient.
Yeah. And
really delightful. So when anyone ever says to me, Ray and Jerry's, is that the place with the old ladies in the red dresses? No. I'm thinking that you haven't been to Ray and Jerry's since about 1978.
It's not that long. When it was in contemporary times that they changed the uniform.
Was it? So now they wear a black slack, a trouser, if you will, and a crisp white shirt.
Yep.
Fun fact.
Is there one?
There is a fun fact.
Okay.
In the basement, and I was told this by a server, the old uniforms are down there.
Come on.
They didn't get rid of the old uniforms. They're in lockers or on a rack or something.
Oh, cool. I want to see that.
So I'm thinking, I just had my 50th birthday, but maybe like for my next big milestone birthday, like
75.
50 and a half.
My birthday.
We could throw like a madman party in the lounge and get the servers to wear the old uniforms. I don't know if you can request that of something.
Sounds very demanding.
Throw some money at people. Make this happen.
Hey, gals, here's the deal.
But I love it. For me, I like the lounge for drinks and snacks.
Okay.
And I like the dining room for meals.
That tracks.
Because I feel like the tables are more conducive to really getting your elbows up.
The tables in the lounge are smaller, it's true. But when you say Ray and Jerry's Lounge, the first thing I think of is that amazing ice chip situation that happens on top of margaritas. Not margaritas.
Cosmopolitans?
Cosmos and martinis.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing about Ray and Jerry's, the cocktails are ice cold.
Yes.
And to the brim.
Yes.
I don't know how the servers get them across the restaurant.
They must be practicing that.
Yeah. And big fan of the steak sandwich in the lounge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Excellent.
It's got the little fries. They do a good little fry.
Fries are amazing. Onion rings? Less so. We had an onion ring order at our table. But I think that probably some of the reason why it wasn't devoured is because we had all eaten large amounts of meat.
I was on my third Cosmo and my second appetizer.
Yeah.
You know who does a good onion ring?
Who?
529. The Onion Ring Tower.
They have very good onion rings. They also have some of the best dry ribs I've ever had in this city. Yeah. Did you just segue us over to 529?
Did I?
Like,
I told you that today was going to be the day of segues.
I didn't even notice.
Did you want to talk about 529?
Yeah, let's do it.
So 529, what would be the address of 529?
It's Wellington Crescent, close to the corner of Wellington and Academy.
We've never talked about the corner of Wellington and Academy, actually.
We haven't.
Okay, so the corner of Wellington and Academy is girls' school, church, synagogue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to come up with something clever for that.
Except
Yes.
the corner of Wellington Crescent and Academy occurs 3 times.
Oh my God. You're right.
Wellington Crescent intersects Academy 3 times.
Like a crescent almost.
Or an E.
Okay, so we're talking about the one by St. Mary's Academy.
Okay.
At the foot of the bridge.
Yes. Yeah.
The Misericordia Bridge. What's that? Maryland Bridge?
Maryland Bridge.
Okay, so
Misericordia Bridge.
beside the synagogue is 529 Wellington.
Yeah.
That's the address and the name of the restaurant, is it not?
Yes.
And the restaurant is in the home of
John H. Ashdown. I
Good
can't
job.
remember what the H stands for. I have it here.
H stands for hardware.
Henry.
No. Or hardware.
Or Hardware. John Hardware Ashdown.
He was the merchant prince of the prairies in his day.
Isn't that a great title? I love it. Oh, wait a minute. Am I allowed to talk about architectural things?
In this episode, yes, I will grant you a few architectural facts.
Just some tidbits.
Just some listener feedback that we promised to talk about snacks.
Yeah.
And the last episode had no snacks at all.
It was a little architecture heavy.
It was a little brutal.
Yeah, so
Fist.
529. 529 Wellington is a Tudor style home. Don't look at my notes. You're going to get all the fun facts.
I'm not
ahead of
looking.
time.
It's a Tudor.
It's a Tudor style. It's got the half timbers.
Not unlike Ashdown's almost neighbor up the road,
Yep.
Mark Fortune.
Yeah.
The segues and callbacks are flying today.
The house was construction on the house completed in 1913, and it was designed by none other than. Would you like to guess?
No, I'm not going to guess.
I already told you.
Did you?
In a previous episode.
Oh, man.
Remember the architects
Yes.
by the name of John, I don't even remember
Jacob Jingleheimer.
Schmidt. What the hell was his name? John something Gordon.
That's a lot of names. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph something Gordon.
So who designed Ashdown's house?
None other than John Hamilton Gordon Russell.
Oh, a favorite. I don't know why I forgot that. Hamilton.
John Hamilton Gordon Russell. Okay. Remember the architects?
Mm-hmm. And what other notable buildings?
Well, the Ashdown Warehouse, of course.
Of course.
Mark Fortune's home.
Yep.
We went through that. And I think that I had like another short list of buildings the last time we talked, but I don't really have that in front of me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But lots of architecture in Winnipeg.
Yep. And the Ashdown Warehouse, not far from where we are right now.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Ashdown's store was located right on Main Street where the McKim offices are right now.
Yeah, the Crocus
and the
building.
Contemporary Dancers. Are we calling it the Crocus building anymore?
No, we aren't.
No.
We just kind of did, but we aren't.
No.
So yeah, and have you seen the signage, the original signage on that building?
No.
It's at Ashdowns. Oh, it's very cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look that up.
So, getting back to
Ashdown's home.
So Ashdown had in like a, what's it called? Publicity stunt.
Sure.
He had 40 rail cars painted with the words "Hardware from J.H. Ashdown."
Oh.
And each car had over 800. What is it? 800 tons of building materials and hardware for sale.
Oh my God.
And then he just shot those train cars out into the prairies.
Because you have to think at that time, what was between here and Calgary or Vancouver? Like not that much, right?
Is this another slight on
No, I'm just...
St. Vital?
It was St. Boniface.
Is this another slight
now
on
I'm coming
St.
for you, St. James. Headingley didn't exist. No.
Okay, so I don't know, I just have some like facts. They're not really necessarily related to anything other than Ashdown himself.
Wasn't the building at one time owned by the Shriners? Like
it
the
was.
Guys in the hats?
Yeah, Khartoum Temple. Or Khartoum Temple?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know at the time they were called the Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine?
We can. We can.
It's a long name.
It is a long name and a little bit ooky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, we won't dig into the history of that.
No. And when did it become a restaurant? Do we know that?
I don't. Oh, no, I do. Maybe.
But it's beautiful inside, like all the original woodwork and stained glass. And
oh, yeah. So one thing that I thought was kind of cool, the architect was so proud of the house that he had the interior photographed, which is why we know what it looked like.
Oh.
Ah.
How much architectural photography were they doing back in that day?
Well, I think there were 2 photos.
The house had to stand very still.
Yeah. Another thing that I read that was kind of interesting is that there was a little creek that ran through the site.
A creek?
A creek? Depending on what side of the border you're on. That creek, the site for the home had a little bridge over the creek. It was very picturesque.
That's adorable.
That creek is gone, of course. We have a great big parking lot in front of the home today. But you can see the remnants of that creek on the other side of the road at St. Mary's Academy.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a sinkhole or something one day.
We might. Something to look forward to.
Fingers crossed. Beautiful patio in the summer, too.
Yes. And the patio is adjacent to an addition that was done. But when they built the addition, they used the same stone and everything to kind of make it seamlessly blend in with the rest of the home.
Lovely.
Do you know what color the roof is without looking at photos?
Green.
It is.
I got it.
That was nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The other thing that I think is kind of cool is that at least one source that I read said there's a good chance maybe the trims were green originally. Right now they're a nice terracotta red.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see it return to green, but the green of the roof tiles has definitely faded over time, so it's not quite as punchy as it would have been when it was first installed.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put it past you to show up for dinner and ask them to paint the trim.
Like I asked Salisbury House to turn on their sign.
Still waiting for that sign to come on.
Did you know that James Henry Ashdown was elected mayor of Winnipeg in 1907?
I did.
Did you know that he won, or I don't know, he returned to the position in 1908
Yes.
by acclamation?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means that they were just like, yeah, okay. Like they didn't have an election. They were just like, hey, you.
Really?
Yeah.
I read that to be like he was acclaimed. He was critically acclaimed.
He was. They were just like, meh.
They loved him so much.
Good job, fella. Come on.
Oh, all right.
I feel like back at that time, and we're going to do our mayoral special
Yes.
soon.
Oh.
But I feel at that time, everyone had a pretty good shot at being mayor.
All 17 people. Yeah. Well, as it happens, in 1910, Ashdown was listed as by the Winnipeg Telegram as one of Winnipeg's 19 millionaires.
Whoa. But probably literally he had $1 million.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He won one of the smaller Lotto Max prizes.
The bar for being a millionaire was to have $1 million or to have made $1 million.
I don't have a clever segue to get us to our next stop on this
Well,
tour.
don't segue yet.
Oh, are you still going?
I've got something really cool to tell you about the
Mother of
garage.
pearl. The garage?
Yeah.
Where's the garage?
The garage is behind the porte cochere.
You and your Spanish.
French, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so the garage
Yes.
has a turntable in it.
To turn the cars around?
Turns the cars 180 degrees. So you drive in.
God, I need that.
And then you drive straight out.
I need that.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Super cool.
I desperately need that.
And it had a pit for servicing the vehicles, which is also very cool.
So you could change your own oil? I mean,
Somebody
you would
could
have someone.
Yeah. I might have exhausted my long list of
Those were some fun facts.
Yeah.
Those were pretty good.
I think that the turntable's still there. I'm not sure that it's operating, but the garage and the turntable, I think, are still there.
We went there for Jacob's graduation lunch.
Nice.
And the reason he got a lunch instead of a dinner, because it was just a theater degree.
Oh,
I kid.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Look
He's
what
listening.
you did to poor young Rebecca. She's angry now.
Poor Rebecca's packing up.
She's going to delete all your footage. Is it called footage?
We've got that new 2-channel mixer. I think the second channel just switched off.
So did you say you were parched?
I said that restaurant you were just talking about sounds nifty.
Oh, nifty, you say.
So what are we drinking tonight? We are drinking the Nifty Spirited Craft Seltzer.
We are.
It's a collaboration with Patent 5 and Nonsuch.
Oh, and Patent 5 and Nonsuch are about, well, if we hacked hard, these cans could make it over there.
Yeah. Like from where we're sitting, if you threw your can hard enough, you could hit Patent 5. It would bounce and hit Nonsuch.
Okay, that was a much more succinct way of saying what I said. Thank you.
What I'm saying is they're in the neighborhood.
They're nearby.
So we're having the Peach and Rose craft seltzer.
Not to be confused with Paige and Roy.
Yeah. Do you know what they're made with?
Please tell me.
Craft vodka, raw cane sugar, citric acid, real peach, rose water, bubbles, and love.
Love.
You can taste the love. Actually, I find them really, this is a really tasty flavor. I've been avoiding this one.
Why?
I'm not going to lie, because sometimes rose tasting things
too overpowering.
Don't taste good to me.
This one is delightful. The peach is absolutely killing it. And
it's not too sweet.
It's not too sweet. And the rose is subtle.
It's not too floral.
It's gluten-free and vegan.
I put a pepperoni stick in mine.
What?
Huh? But super delish. And made over at the Patent 5, which I thought we could talk about next.
And packaged
at
Nonsuch.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do fine work.
They do. And they're conveniently located.
Yes. So we did try to get these today from the Patent 5. It wouldn't be a tap room, tasting room?
A tasting room, but we would be ordering from the distillery.
Yes. We didn't do that because they're closed on Tuesdays. Of course, for our listener, today is literally any day.
Yeah.
So Patent 5, they distill their own vodka, gin, and do they do a whiskey?
Last I heard they were going to But that was actually a really long time ago, so I'm wondering if maybe they're already there.
So Patent 5 located in the East Exchange.
Yep.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about the building?
I've got a few things I can say.
I had that feeling you would.
So the building was built for the Dominion Express Company. It was their stable building. And the horses were stabled on the second floor.
Would you say that it was their livery?
Livery
building?
Did we already talk about this?
No, that was before when we
weren't recording yet.
No.
Okay. I'm kind of only half here today.
So former livery stable.
Yeah. It was originally a 2-story building. The best part about it is if you look at it today, it just looks like they control pasted a third floor on.
So it's just like, hey, we need a third floor. Do we need to call the architect?
No. Just take this section of the drawings of the elevation and photostatic. No, they wouldn't have had that. What would it be called? Blueprint?
Like they mimeographed it?
Something like that.
Someone did a tracing?
Copper plated?
They probably just traced it.
Yeah.
So that building went up in 1904.
And the third story was added in 1909.
Cool.
So John Woodman of Winnipeg was hired to design the brick and stone building.
The John Woodman?
The John Woodman. Some of his other Winnipeg buildings include Winnipeg's Eaton's store.
What?
Yeah.
So was it a coincidence then that the Eaton's warehouse was right across the street?
Not a coincidence at all, because he also designed that.
Fortuitous.
He designed the former B&B building at the Forks, now the Children's Museum.
Oh.
And the okay, all right, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get this right. Breadalbane Apartments, now known as the Ambassador Apartments on Hargrave Street.
Oh. Is that the one that's kind of a flat iron? No.
No. Not even close.
Wrong end of Hargrave?
No, it's around there, but it's I want to say like a skosh further south. I don't know. It's in the vicinity though.
Okay.
Are you just called that building a flat iron building?
Did I?
You did.
It's all about angles. Depends where you're standing. Ooh, is that a flat iron? Sure.
All right. Okay, fine. It sounds like you wanted to.
Ooh, did you want me to talk about the interior?
Please do.
Of the tasting room? Well, interestingly enough, they took all the woodwork for the bar and for the walls to build out the tasting room from the old St. Regis Hotel.
As well as the stained glass.
Yes.
And the chandeliers.
Yes. All the bits.
Did you already say that?
I don't know. Okay. This time I wasn't paying attention to you.
All right. Okay.
I wasn't paying attention to myself.
Okay. But specifically from the Oak Room.
The Oak Room in the St. Regis Hotel. The St. Regis was built in 1911, closed in 2017, and was demolished in 2020.
Yep.
So they were able to...
Yep.
Confirmation, thank you.
Yep.
But they were able to repurpose all those beautiful interior pieces.
Yes.
And for that, they won an award, did they not?
They did. I don't... they have won the Commerce Design Award. Did they win something else?
Heritage Winnipeg, perhaps, a preservation award?
Something like that. You're right.
Yeah.
And I actually reached out to Shelley from Environmental Space Planning, and she gave me a little hot tip.
Ooh, is it a fun fact or a hot tip? Make it a hot tip because I have a fun fact next.
Okay. Hot tip. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to sound like a reading person now, so I apologize for that. So she said she found a note from the owners about the salvage of the wood and stained glass from the St. Regis Hotel that might be of interest. The St. Regis air was full of mold, as there was water in the basement and all the windows and doors had been nailed shut for months. So air hadn't circulated. So with headlamps and respirators, the task of removing the precious 117-year-old oak began. Over a period of 5 days, working 12 hours a day, the pieces of the oak room were painstakingly removed, catalogued, and stored for new life at Patent 5. And the designers at Environmental Space Planning worked together with Patent 5 to create concept sketches to reuse these elements in the creation of the new tasting room, which was, of course, inspired by the oak room. but in a new way, unique to its own.
Cool.
But I also read something interesting, which said that the Patent 5 owners hadn't planned to do a tasting room until they saw the potential in that oak room wood.
So they were inspired.
And they were inspired and they changed their plans.
That's so cool.
I love it.
I like that too. And they also, I believe, serve their cocktails in vintage stemware. And
do they?
some of it's from the St. Regis Hotel,
Oh, neato.
like some branded pieces.
That's really cool.
Are you ready for a fun fact?
I am.
Do you know how Patent 5 got their name?
No.
It comes from the kind of still that they use to distill their product.
Okay.
And it's an 1869 design by James Wilson that was awarded patent number 5.
Ha! Cool.
Cool, right? That is a fun fact.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
How come you use a still to distill?
The answer is in the question.
To distill.
To distill. To unstill. We are going to have to go over to Patent 5 soon because they have their mixtape cocktail menu right now. So they always do these cool theme menus.
Okay.
I think this summer there was a diner themed menu.
Oh, cool.
So right now the mixtape menu, all the drinks are inspired by songs.
Oh, no way.
So you can order your drink by song. So they have like Amy Winehouse, Orville Peck, Harry Styles, ABBA, and others. But since we're speaking about Patent 5 and Nifty, we should give a shout out to Nonsuch up the street at 125 Pacific Avenue.
Sorry, I was drinking.
Were you having some Nifty?
I was having some peach and rose.
Beautiful label design too, hey?
It is. It's really nice. Do we know who did it?
We don't.
We should
But
look into that.
maybe a listener will reach out.
Maybe.
Nonsuch, we're going to talk more about Winnipeg breweries. Winnipeg craft breweries at some point.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that the Nonsuch is another beautiful interior
It is.
with some crazy ceiling stuff going on.
Hanging
Umbrellas?
Ceiling danglies.
I have actually ceiling madness in my notes. Yeah, dangly ceiling things.
Yeah.
With the golden umbrellas.
That wave
Yep.
and
Undulating.
brings the ceiling down, makes it very intimate.
Yep. Do you know what was in that space before? It's a centuries old building, again.
It is.
Much as the rest of the block.
Peg City Brew Co.
Before that. But
Oh.
yes, Peg City was one of the first in the new wave of craft breweries.
Peg City had hot sauce that was to die for.
Literally, if you didn't like hot sauces, you might die. Before it was a brewery.
What? Oh, before it was a brewery.
Yeah. So it started off as a machine shop,
Okay.
or one of the earlier iterations of it. It was a machine shop.
Okay.
And then as of 2013, it was home to one of Winnipeg's oldest running indoor skate parks, The Edge.
Yes. Of course, the Edge.
Right? Did you
Yeah.
spend any time there?
I did.
See, I knew you would.
I
I had a feeling.
My Lowrider Bicycle Club and I were photographed in that
There it
building.
is.
The juxtaposition of young children in such an old building.
You just wanted to get in the Lowrider Bicycle Club talk.
No, I wanted to get in the word juxtaposition.
And with that, cue the music.